Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I'm doing live now with my students, and I hope you can enjoy my life because tonight we are discussing about IELTS speaking. Before that, before we get into that, let's just admit the students who are already here. All right. Hello, Radit. Can you hear me?
Hello, Mr. Ega. Yes, it's clear.
Yeah, I'm using my tablet now
Oh, okay.
because apparently my laptop doesn't really work. Did you watch my video?
Haven't. I just got online, so I just got home from the office and go straight to the Zoom. So I haven't watched it yet. So is there no one else here?
Yeah, there were three students who were here, but I ended the meeting.
I see.
Why I said rejoin? Because yeah, they need to watch the video first.
Oh, I see.
They're having a dinner. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So that I won't explain what I have described on the video because it will take too much time. But you
Okay.
can watch it later. The thing is, I want you to start practicing your speaking tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
got
of
it.
course, I'm gonna prepare some kind of notes for each student. I will explain further later because in IELTS speaking, we need to have private conversation. Can come
Okay,
back.
got it.
So maybe for while we waiting for the others, you can watch my video.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna watch it now.
Yeah, you go there. Hello, Sandy. Welcome back.
Yes,
How's
sir.
your dinner?
I have written before praying Isha, sir.
Oh, I see. Well,
Okay.
I'm so happy to hear that. So, what do you think about the IELTS speaking? Do you have any further questions after you watch it? Sandy,
Question.
is there anything you would like to discuss? You don't have. It doesn't have to
Oh,
be.
what about the where is it? Lexical search.
That is something that we are going to discuss here later.
Oh,
I think I need more student because I don't want to repeat explanation.
okay.
But has something to do maybe with the based on the scriptures, grammar, pronunciation will also be assessed, and lexical is like you need to understand the question and make provide a relevant answer. Okay, let's
Oh,
see.
okay.
I need to find that this scripture.
How we improve? What about your experience to improve your speaking?
Yeah, my experience because of my students informed me that they got the highest score in speaking. They always they told me that they listen to my advice for listening to podcasts because by listening to English native speakers, they got used to it. And once they got used to it, they would be able to just speak naturally without even remembering the grammar or the rules. So they just listen to the native speakers and then, oh, I remember this guy saying this. Yeah, pretty much like bahasa Indonesia. We don't study the grammar or tata bahasa all the time, right? When we speak bahasa, but we still keep going on with our speaking in bahasa, right? So that's how they did it, and that's how I told them too. like immerse yourself in English environment. You got to listen to English like every day. That's why the IELTS podcasts are not just something that you listen once and then tomorrow you don't listen it again. You have to do it over time because your time is limited to take the official IELTS, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I told them.
Okay.
Make
So
yourself used to it.
if
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
found if we find the where is I don't know about the meaning of the sentences about the podcast inside the podcast. How you know
Usually,
what this
yeah.
meaning?
Usually the podcasts, the speakers there actually explain it because the podcast that I suggest you guys are not the podcast that they speak English in certain topics and then they don't discuss the language there. For the British podcast that I sent to you, oh, you didn't
Oh,
get it yet, Sandy.
yeah.
Before
I'm
you
news.
join the group chat, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I will resend it later.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So they, and I'm not they, but he, but sometimes he or she, it depends on the speakers. Yeah. So he usually explain why we say this phrase, why we say this word, what type of words do I need to apply in a sentence. So it's like they really discuss it in every part of their podcast. Yeah. So it is interesting. That's what I love. That's what I suggest the English learning podcast, not just the English podcast.
Okay. Yes, sir, because I'm afraid to know about the different meaning with them because I always translate the English into Indonesian.
That is one of the mistakes that Indonesian students do. They try to always translate everything. When I learn English, especially if you're already in intermediate, I think Sandy, your English is already intermediate. You don't have to be afraid to listen to English and then you don't understand. You will understand when they explain it to you in English. You don't need to translate it. You don't have to always. What is it in Bahasa? I don't know, but you understand the previous words, for example, or maybe this context is all about this and that. So that's why in my class, I don't use Indonesian language. So you guys get used to it. Jadi terbiasa. So it's like like that. So I will resend it to the group chat. But make sure you have premium, Spotify premium.
Sorry, Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify premium. But I think they also have the website, but I'm too lazy to share the only website. I think it's really good. It's just only to listen to their podcast instead of their website.
Is there video, sir, or just song?
A video? Are you sure you prefer the video?
Yeah. Is there video or only song?
Podcast.
Oh, video.
Andy. Podcast, you don't know podcast?
Because I'm not user of Spotify, so I don't know what is Spotify.
It's podcast, and it's not about Spotify. Podcast is like radio. Oh my god.
Oh, we can watch in YouTube. I mean,
what? Are you sure? No, podcast is an audio, Sandy. Oh my god. Sandy.
Oh, because
podcast.
Because my image in podcast is like Deddy Corbuzier too.
It is like that, but that's a video podcast. This one is only audio. Okay. Some podcaster have that type of video, but the podcast that I suggest you, they don't have it. Because I need you guys to focus on listening, not just watching the video.
Okay.
Especially on YouTube. But it's okay if you want to learn the YouTube as well, because I also recommend the YouTube. So many YouTube channels that are very good in teaching English. So Sandy, I hope that actually we have the theories and PowerPoints tonight's meeting from Golden English, but I wouldn't suggest that to be discussed because we will we will waste so much time. Okay, I need you guys to practice the speaking right now. Wisnu, Mutia, hello. Are you guys finished watching the video?
Hello.
Are you finished watching the videos?
Yes. Finish.
Yeah. So Mutia, do you want to discuss more? Do you have any question or anything that you would like to ask? Go ahead. The floor is yours. No, Mutia?
I don't think so. I have question for now.
Okay, Radit, are you still on your video? I hope. Okay, let's just stop watching the video first. If you can, Radit.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, you will have time to watch the video again right after. This is the speaking band descriptors, meaning that what type of grades that you would like to have, band score that you need to get. Do you guys want to focus on 7 or 8? Hello, which one would you like to? Well, I hope you guys have a target to get band score 8, yeah, not 9. I think 9 is for native speakers. For the speaking, which band score would you like to discuss? Hello, are you there?
I think 8.
8.
It's covered to 7, but yeah, also 8. I think.
Yeah, I think the
like
rest.
8.
Yeah, the rest you can read it, but don't read the from 0. It's not important. Just read 7 and until 9, whatever, or maybe 6. Yeah, the essential band score. Yeah. So in AIC, they will assess your fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy and pronunciation. If you want to get this, you can just download on our group chat. Okay. So in band score 8, and I hope you guys can get 8.5. Hopefully, it will be tremendous. Okay, 8. So in answering question, you must speak fluently with only occasional repetition or self-correction. If you want to know what self-correction sounds like, it's like just like me. Sometimes I still correct my speaking or my pronunciation. And that is fine. But remember, this is only occasional repetition, not often, not many times. Usually content related and only rarely to search for language. Maybe you're thinking about what tenses you would like to use in answering the question. But of course, I will teach you how to do that, okay? And develop topics coherently and appropriately. If the examiner asks you about the corruption, maybe you can also discuss about the impact about corruption, the economy or the market, something like that. That's still appropriate and coherent. And for the lexical resource, this is about how you guys can use the vocabulary. Sometimes we have a simulation for the speaking, and I feel that not so many students have a variety of different vocabulary. It's just the vocabulary seems too general and also too easy, too common, yeah. I know that in my video, I said that don't use big words or fancy because it might get you in trouble when you don't know the meaning of those words, yeah, those fancy words. But the thing is, for the academic words, it will help you guys. It doesn't necessarily have to be fancy or rare, unfamiliar words that nobody uses. And use idiom, okay? Idiom, okay, guys, this is something. Okay, what is the idiom for easy? Is anybody easy? Does anybody know about the idiom for something easy? Anyone? Hello, I'm asking you. Hello, are you there?
What's an idiom, sir? Is it like synonym?
No. Oh, you don't know idiom? I'm sorry. Mutia, do you know idiom?
Not really.
Idiom is like a not literal meaning, yeah? For example, piece of cake. I will share you the link. Meaning it's easy, very easy. What has something to do with piece of cake and the word meaning is like, for example, doing math exam is a piece of cake. It feels so easy. Okay, that's idiom. And also, yeah, less common and idiomatic vocabulary. You can say, yeah, we will have that for the practice, don't worry. Uses paraphrase effectively as required. Yep, not only in writing, but also in speaking. If you guys are already expert at paraphrasing your questions from the writing, I think you won't have a problem with that. Does anyone still know what paraphrase is?
Using different word with similar meaning.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to understand. We'll discuss that later. Okay, uses a wide range of structure, flexibility. Maybe the grammar is quite complex, such as if you learn about if conditionals, I have the video about that. I explained it long time ago, but it's still very useful because it will give you guys an opportunity to learn more complex sentences and you combine it with even more difficult grammar. So yeah, I will send a video of that again. Don't worry. Produce a majority of error-free sentences with only very occasional inaccuracies or basic non-cinematic errors. So when you speak long, especially in part 2, I think this will also the part where the examiner will be able to see your mistake in making long sentences. Yes, don't worry. We also learn about this as well. I hope we can improve together, guys. And the pronunciation. Use a wide range of pronunciation features. Maybe you... this one is something that I don't quite understand, but if from the explanation, I think we could conclude that probably like either or something that is very clear. Whenever you pronounce a word and it comes out very clear, then you will get higher score. Sustain flexible use of features with only occasional lapses. For example, when you make mistake in pronunciation, like it's supposed to be, for example, I think a lot of Indonesian people read this analysis, but it's not analysis, but analysis. So if you make mistake, maybe, but only just a few words, you still have a chance to get band score 8. Okay, so you don't have to worry. You got to be perfect all the time in your speaking. because even if you're slightly wrong, slightly mistake, you still have a chance to get A. A band score 8 is a no joke, guys. It's a very high band score. I think if you got 7, it's already lucky as well, because it's IELTS, and the people that will assess you will be the native speakers, and they're not just native, but they are trained. Okay, they were taught to be assessor. Okay, last one for the category of pronunciation is that in band score 8, your pronunciation should be easy to understand throughout. And for the L1, meaning first language, accent has minimal effect on intelligibility. So even if you pay attention to my speaking, that sounds very Indonesian accent, it doesn't really matter, guys. Just like the video that just like something that I said on my video, if you really watch it, it doesn't matter, okay? Don't try to amaze the examiner with your British accent. It doesn't make you even, it doesn't get you to get or to acquire band score 9, because that element is not the only element that they will use to assess your speaking. So before we, okay, that's it, band score 8. Do you guys have any question? So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to practice your speaking? So here's what we're going to do. Radit, if you're not finished with the video, it's okay, because I will ask Sandy first to stay in the Zoom, and for 11 to 14 minutes, we're going to do the speaking practice, and of course with the feedback, yeah. So I will ask Mutia, Wisnu, and Radit to leave the meeting, to leave the Zoom. I will call you back when Sandy and I are finished.
Okay.
Okay.
See you guys.
See you.
Okay, Sandy, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If have you ever watched any IELTS speaking on the YouTube, because there are plenty of it?
Yes, I have ever watched it. I have ever watched before.
And
Yeah, maybe several, but it's a long time ago. And I'm
do
not,
you know how it works, right? Only 2%, and
yes, only 2%. Yeah, face to face, I think.
exactly. That's going to be that will be exactly the same, yeah, just like we do. And I will give you yeah. Well, later in part 2, I will set up the time for 1 minute, and you need to have a pencil or pen for with you to make notes. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh my God, I need to go to the toilet. No, no, no.
Okay. Okay, please.
No, I'm kidding. I feel it, but but it doesn't make me want to go to the toilet. Okay. Oh, this is too long. So in speaking, I hope you can. Oh yeah, I forgot. In speaking, you don't see the question, okay? Only in part 2.
Oh,
So is it okay if I don't show the questions?
okay, never mind. I try.
All right. Let's go, yeah. Okay, let me, oh, thank God I'm using my tablet so I can split my screen. Sorry, I misclicked.
Okay.
Okay, where is it? Where is it? Nah. Okay, don't be nervous, yeah, Sandy. Okay. Let me remind you, Sandy. Even though the questions are not related to what you do, or you think that, oh, I'm already over that, meaning that I have already gone through that type of things, and I don't need to do that anymore. Meaning that, for example, this is about job, and you already have a job, but still, yeah, you need to answer.
Sure.
And Sandy, even
Yes.
if even if I cut you or interrupt you, it doesn't mean that you make any mistake. It doesn't make you get lower band score. It just means that your time is up. Your time is already finished, and we
Okay,
need to
sir.
move on to the next question. Okay, so Sandy, in speaking, the examiner will ask you to look at your ID card. Okay.
ID card.
Okay. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, Sandy. Welcome to speaking room. How
Yes,
are
sir.
you?
I'm fine, thanks.
May I see your ID card, please?
Okay, this is my ID card.
All right, let me check. All right, the information is really matching with your ID card. So for the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to ask you about your work. So where do you go to work? What is your job?
Yes, I'm a private teacher, and my majority in teaching is biology, and I have always teach one student privately.
Thank you. Do you like your job?
Yes, of course, I love so much my job because it's my choice for a long time, for a long time in the past. Okay.
All right, Sandy, let's discuss the first part. This is the part 1. We're going to discuss about future. What job would you like to have in 10 years from now, and why?
The job that I want to be at 10 years future is a teacher too, because I like teacher and I want to increase my performance to be a teacher. Maybe I will be international teacher school like that. So I want to pick the university that teach about how the international education work like that. So I want to be a teacher, I keep a teacher, but in the level of professional, I think.
Thank you. And how useful will English be for your future?
Yes, of course, English will be a very useful advantage for my future because I will teach student abroad or maybe variety of the background of the student that I will teach in the future. So I want to spread my knowledge, like make a student like biology, of course, because you know the biology nowadays biology is being hated by students because those teachers are delivering the biology so bored. So I want to make biology, making biology learning so fun like that.
All right. How much traveling do you hope to do in the future? Because you will have, or you will have different responsibilities in your job.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat the question?
How much traveling do you hope to do in the future, as you will have different responsibilities?
Traveling. Maybe I just make one traveling to abroad university once more, and I wanna learn about from this university about the a variety of the background of students, because in international like England there are variety of students they are learning in there, so I can catch them the student, and I practice my teaching on them on there, so I cannot
Thank you.
I know. Okay.
Thank you. How do you think your life will change in the future?
Yes, because I often improve my skills in my majority, like teaching of biology and then my English. So also, and then I also improve my skill in what is it, soft skill, like making animation or making the video for the animation for the biology study, like that. And then I always improve the material of my subjects, such as making
Thank you,
a
Sandy.
great PowerPoint. Yes.
Okay, Sandy, I will show you for 1 minute the questions from part 2. If you watch my video, you know that you do not write the entire answer. Okay, only the main points. Okay, Sandy?
Okay, sir.
And I will give you 1 minute. Wait, yeah. So do not ask the time already up or not, because just use your time to write your notes. Okay. What? So this is your part 2 question. Go ahead. All right, time's up.
Okay.
Whatever you got, just use it. This is your first IELTS speaking, okay? You don't have to be perfect, Sandy.
Sir.
Okay, Sandy, I will give you 2 minutes, and you need to keep going. Even if you think you're finished and the time is still running, and I don't say anything about Sandy, stop. No, you need to keep speaking, because you must maximize your time. Okay, you cannot waste it.
Okay, sir.
Are you ready? So
Yes.
yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet and listening to your TED Talk speech. You are my lecturer now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, one book that I decide to learn, and because I see the cover is so beautiful, is the Biology Cambridge for Level A. Yeah, because I read this book for the necessity, because I'm a teacher in the Bio International, so I must read this book before I'm going to my class, like that. This book so very fascinating biology book, because there are so many diagram that, when you see this diagram, you can see the detail of the biology structure that God has created for us. And then as also I can make a question or or maybe a material for our teaching in this for cited from this book biology, because these sentences and the information, detailed information, is so very complete. So I can cite because I trust this is a choosy book. This is a great book to be cited by us. And then also this book contains the question, great question for practice our student to know deeply and know better, understand better about the biology. So I prepared choose this book. And another reason that I chose this book also in the price, yeah, because even if some people think about this book is so very expensive, but I think the price is like the content of this book. Yeah, I think this book is a very great to cited by the student of biology.
Thank you. Wow, you really use your 2 minutes maximum. Very good. In part 2, I forgot that the students or the test taker will keep seeing the question. It's okay, because the card will be given to you by the examiner, and then you can see the questions from the part 2 and also your notes here. Maybe you forgot what question is that. Yeah. In IELTS speaking test like that, yeah, they will don't return it until they say, "Can I get it back?" For example. All right. So
okay.
Now, are you ready for part 3, which is the last part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this.
I'm so ready.
Yeah, this part will take longer and more difficult discussion. Oh, I forgot. No sharing my screen, because that's what it be like in your official test. So speaking of children and reading, what are the most popular types of children books in our country?
I think the most popular book that our children read in our country is the storybook, like the Cantil, or maybe another titles of the book, because because the children can read or can see the picture inside this book. Yeah, I think that the student only see this the picture because Indonesian student prefer not just to read more text inside the book, and so they only see the picture. But
Thank you.
Okay.
What are benefits of parents reading books to their children?
Well, there are so many benefits that the parent read the book for the children, because the books, like a story, they contain a many price and many great meaning, and so these children can learn about this meaning to be a great or to be kind person in their life. And then,
all right, okay, continue.
Okay, enough, sir.
Should parents always let children choose the books they read, or do you think it should be the parents choose the book and not the children?
I think combine both of them is more great. I think is greater than you force your children to pick that you want to pick for this for your children. I think that's discussed later is better than you are forced to pick this book for your children, and your children can also learn about that which is bad or good book for their life to be learned like that. So yeah, I think this is to avoid the fight between the parents and the children.
All right. So we also have modern books such as electronic books. Um, yeah, any books that we can access from the internet. How do you think that electric books? Do you think electric books will completely replace printed books in the future?
Yes, I think because the improvement or maybe improvement of the electronics and media in our world, it's so very increasingly, it's so very increase significantly. So I think the paper book will be converted or be changed by the electronical media for reading book, because there are so many advantage when you are reading from your gadget like handphone or tablet like that, because you are not having to, you are not spending the much money to buy the paper, or maybe the paper will be safe, or and the tree will be safe. And so also you easily to get the file from the internet and download to your phone, I think.
Well done. And last question, how popular are electronic books in our country?
I think the popularity of the electronic book in our country still a middle. I think it's not so famous like a paper, because I see in many schools they still use the paper book for the reference for the learning. I think it's a little middle. I think in the future the usage of the electronic book will be increased. Yeah, because on
Thank
my school.
you. Thank you, Sandy. That's it. That's the end of IELTS Speaking. And before I give you the feedback, what do you think about your performance?
I'm so nervous.
It's okay, Pak Guru.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think my performance, like, it's so faster talker like that, because I'm so nervous. It is like a formal discussion. It's not like.
Yeah, why are you so nervous anyway? It's like, I told you just call me Ega, not Mr. Oh my God, I hate that some.
Because you are assessor and you are act like assessor.
No, well,
like a
I am
teacher.
an English teacher, but I don't think we are separated too long, too far. I think, yeah, I'm older a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, you can just call me Ega because English teacher usually doesn't really need the title Mister, except for the children's class, But it's okay, up to you.
Yes, it's the first time to be tested
Yeah.
like that.
Well, if you see me outside, just call me Ega. Okay,
sir.
Sandy.
Okay, sir.
Oh, so again. No. Okay, are you ready to hear me out about
Yes.
your feedbacks?
Yes,
Okay, I have some kind of your notes here, quite long.
Oh,
I
quite
don't know
long.
if you
Oh
can
my
read.
God. Yeah,
But
there's
don't
much to
worry.
revise.
This is your very first IELTS speaking test. So of course you got not so bad score, but also not so good. I think, teaching IELTS for 2 years now, I have several students who actually did worse than you, Sandy. And then when the IELTS test came out, my score prediction was pretty close. So his speaking was quite weak. I always gave him 5 or 5.5, and then when it comes, he got 6.5.
Wow.
So I was quite surprised. But at the end of the English the IELTS course, I told him to push himself. And when the last simulation in IELTS speaking, he got around 6. I gave him 6 because his speaking got better and better.
Okay.
So what I ask you to do is that just because you will listen to me with a very not nice critics, it will demotivate you. Okay, don't feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to feel more motivated. Speaking of motivated, I think your first feedback is like you need to, because you are the teacher, and I think you use the word making better. Forgot, but you can also use the other words to make the student feel better, or they have higher motivation in learning. You can use the word motivate, enhance, or yeah, increase, instead of just making them better, because I think you need to use different words with the same meaning as well to avoid the repetition. Okay, Sandy.
Okay.
And in your very first speaking, you mentioned about majority. I think it's just enough major.
Okay, major.
My major is biology,
Yes, major.
not majority, because
Okay.
majority is like kebanyakan. Kebanyakan orang, majority of people, blah blah. It's just major, okay, Sandy?
Okay.
And then your entire, this is still in part one. You are very nervous, and you've got a lot of stutter moments when you want to speak, and then it comes out too fast. Sometimes it doesn't sound clearly in my ears. Okay, Sandy?
Okay. Okay.
And when you use too many words for the word teacher, 5 times I counted, or even more, I think.
Hmm.
Instead of I think you have a plan to kind of improve your teaching skill, not the teacher. I think what you meant was that teaching, yeah.
Yes.
You need to improve the teaching itself from you, or maybe not. If you talk about the teacher, meaning that not only you but also the other teachers, which is quite confusing because the question is all about you, not the other teachers. Okay, Sandy?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, what I got from you was that you wanted to say about how to improve your teaching skill, your knowledge as a teacher, but you mentioned the word teacher too many times.
Okay.
And okay, biology as well, 4 times. I know this is your expertise in your job, but I guess you need to stop using the same word more than twice.
Okay.
What else you can think about? If you explaining about your job and then you have to mention the biology, maybe maybe my job, just only what I'm doing as a teacher of biology. I sometimes teach the student about this and that. And
Yeah.
also, it's quite too common to me. Your words are still very basic, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Over time, I will suggest you more academic words, and you get even higher score in IELTS speaking.
Hmm.
And there's one phrase that you said, catch them. I don't really understand about catch them. What do you mean by catching them? Do you want to catch them?
Catch them. I
Yeah.
forgot.
When
Catch.
you explain about teaching students abroad and then you want to catch them, maybe you want to understand them or what?
I
Catch.
think I want to learn yeah, about the culture, about the
Yeah.
background, yeah, characteristic.
You. Yeah, it's okay. I think you said that because you were nervous.
Yes. Yeah. I know
That's
my
why.
heart so faster heartbeat.
Yes. Okay, let me see the question again. The last part of the question in part one. Yeah. There's a question about life will change in the future. So how do you think your life will change in it. And then you didn't explain it. You explained somehow about I forgot what you said, so many things, but it's not about what you think your life will change into, but also I think how do you get it? Not the way because you have maybe new jobs and with the new responsibilities. And why do you think your life will change? Is it because you will have more salary? Is it because your salary will be higher? And what do you think your life will change? What makes you think you sure that your life will change? And not about what you want in the future.
Oh,
I think that's kind of misleading. Yeah, because for example, like this, I want to be a Ministry of Education, but the question is all about, are you sure you're going to get that job in the future? And why are you sure like that, Sandy? Between what you want and what's going to happen in your life. And you're very sure about that? And then okay, that's the end of part 1. Overall, I like part 1 because at least you have the confidence and you really use your time carefully. Most of my students didn't even bother to speak longer than that. It's a very good beginning, okay? And part 2, you kind of mispronounce for past simple for the verb to, like it's supposed to be saw, and then you still see. Yeah, and then you still use read instead of read. So in verb to, read, read.
Yeah. Okay. I panic and I don't know what
and
the grammar.
Yes. Yeah, that's why you're here, right? To be guided. To be.
Yeah.
And then the mispronunciation for the details, you say very Indonesian accent, detail. Do you remember that? Detail? Yeah, it was very clear.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
Mispronunciation. Details, yeah.
Okay, details.
And the last thing in part 2 is that, well, the question in part 2, as you can see, wait, no, I'm not sharing my screen. In part 3, you didn't explain why you enjoy. You only explain it, what reading this book made you think about. Yeah, what do you think about the book? Because it was good for the biology class. It was recommended, blah, blah, thing. And why you decided already explained. And what this book was already explained. It's all about biology book, right?
Yes.
So these 3 questions have been covered by you. But this one, why you enjoy this reading? No.
Okay.
Because yeah, you only mentioned about the benefits. Apa manfaatnya aja. It's like, but why you enjoy it is like, is it really fun? But it seems like it has quite the same goals, yeah. Because you mentioned about their pictures there, and then it's very useful for the students. But make sure that you need to make more obvious about the last question.
Okay.
It seems like you haven't covered that, but it's okay.
I think
most of
I need more. I think I need slower talk. I think.
Next time.
Slower. Next time.
Slow down, okay.
Slow down, and try to think before I'm talking. Okay.
Yeah, let's consider I am your friend, not your teacher. Okay, not examiner. And that's it for part 2. Then I'm nervous now. Part 2, I think it's overall quite satisfying. It's clear. And in part 3, You answered quite well, Sandy, but you focus too much on the titles of the books. That's why you were a bit of confused what you're going to say at
Yes.
that time.
Okay.
Well, the question is about types of the title. Is it horror? Is it science fiction? Is it a novel? So generalized thing, okay? And you don't
Okay.
have to know everything. It's
Okay.
not about. So you make sure you you pick the keywords there. Types of the book, not the title of the book.
Okay.
For the grammar, I don't have the problem, but for the correlation, yes, I have the problem because it doesn't have any correlation at all. But I have some kind of yeah. I think that's not too bad as well. And you will okay. You also use the very first passive voice. I I heard you said it will be discussed. That's good. Simple. The passive voice in simple future tense.
Yes.
And then for the technology, the last question, and it's what about electronic books. I think your ideas were not really sophisticated, not very good.
Mm.
You can use technology development or advanced technology, sophisticated technology.
Technology.
You only you only use the word technology, which is too simple.
Okay. Mm.
And then something you mentioned about the books to be learned. I think in this case, you just need to, the children are allowed to choose the books to learn. I think that's enough, not to be learned.
Oh, I think
Even
this is a passive voice.
Yeah, no, it's like this. What?
Oh, to
How
learn.
can I make
to learn.
a
Okay. Active.
yeah, make a simple question sentence like
Okay.
yeah, like find someone you can to talk to. I don't know. Okay, maybe I will find another simple example, but that is the thing. It's not really major for your mistake, quite minor, yeah. And for the references, I think that was quite mispronunciation. References.
References.
I heard something I had something else, not references. References, like very Indonesian references. References.
I think I'm talking with the nervously, so I'm mistaken.
And based on my observation, for the very first IELTS speaking, you also use the phrase "I think" too many times, too much. Okay. I will send you a few phrases that you can use in order to start your speaking. Either it's like, in my opinion, or to my knowledge.
Okay.
As I believe, blah blah blah. And not only do not start your speech with I think.
Yes.
If I use that many times, it doesn't matter because I'm not the one who takes the IELTS. Okay, I think Sandy, this is enough. Oh my god, it's already 8:20.
Oh yeah.
You can leave the meeting and I will call the other student. Okay.
What about overall score, sir? Maybe.
Well, I can predict, yeah.
Roughly, no problem.
Prediction 5.0.
5.0. Okay, no problem. I will increase. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay. Bye.
Okay,
you can rate. Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yep. My pleasure. Oh, it's already here. Sorry for taking too long. So, Wisnu, Are you ready?
So,
Are you ready?
ready.
Okay, Wisnu. Okay, I will give you the feedbacks, but of course, you won't be able to see the question except for part 2. Yes. Take your pen and piece of paper to make notes later on part 2.
Okay.
And when I do not interrupt you or stop you, meaning that you need to keep going,
Okay.
right? And when I stop you, doesn't mean that I think your speaking is wrong. Only the time is just finished. Okay, we need to continue with the other question. Okay, ready?
Okay, I see. Ready.
Right. So okay, welcome to IELTS speaking section, Wisnu. May I see your ID card, please?
Sure. Here it is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they all match with your form. First question in part 1, we'll be discussing about familiar topics. Okay. So, Wisnu, do you work or study?
Hello.
Wisnu, do you work or study?
I just work.
No, I mean about your life. Do you work or study as a student?
I am work.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about future, Wisnu. What job would you like to have 10 years from now, and why?
I think I want to be a lecturer in university, maybe.
All right. And how useful will English be for your future? Vishnu,
I
how
don't know.
useful will English be for your future?
It's very useful because the books and the literation is all in English.
All right. How much traveling do you hope to do in the future?
Traveling. Uh, what does mean traveling?
Traveling? How much traveling do you hope to do in the future?
Yes, so I don't know.
Okay. How do you think your life will change in the future, Vishnu?
When I take the master degree after this, maybe my life will change because I'm here for around 5 years. So if I take the master degree, maybe it will change my life after.
Okay. Vishnu, before we continue, have you ever seen any speaking interview on YouTube?
Yes.
Speaking interview for IELTS? You cannot be that lazy when you're answering the question in IELTS speaking. Do you understand?
I understand. Sorry.
Okay, I will show you part 2. So you must be ready with your notes and
Okay.
make some notes on the piece of paper. I'll give you 1 minute.
Okay.
And after 1 minute, you need to answering that question. Okay, let me share the screen. All right, go. Remember, write it first, make notes, don't write the entire answer, just notes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right, time's up. You have 2 minutes. Let me remind you again, Wisdu.
Okay.
If you are not being interrupted by me, meaning you still have time and you need to keep speaking, okay? Use your time wisely. 3, 2, 1, 2 minutes and answer the question now.
Now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. The book that was I enjoyed reading is the book from Martigo the last time, I think. And this book about how to build the business, and I think this is so interesting for me because I want to put my own business in my hometown, and the books tell and explain about how to put from the 0 point to be the successful businessman. So this is useful for me, and I'm interested to read this book. And I enjoyed this, and I enjoy reading this book. Um, the storytelling is very good, and he can give the easy word, so I don't thinking so much to knowing the book.
All right, that's it. Your 2 minutes are up. So are you ready to discuss part 3?
Okay, ready?
Okay, in part 3, we'll discuss even more difficult and abstract topics.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of, okay, wait, still opening. Okay. Speaking of children and reading, what are the most popular types of children's books in your country?
Popular books, cartoon book about comics, maybe like a comic.
Okay, what are the benefits of parents reading books of their children?
Uh, Reading this book maybe the easy way uh, to 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 make the children know and enjoy maybe, because the children
Okay. What do you think about the parent? Do you think they should always let children choose the books they read, or it has to be the parents all the time that choose the book for their children?
I think the children must have their own decision, and if they like the comic, so do it. But I think now the children have the own way to choose, and
All right, thank you. And speaking of electronic books, because we are getting more and more advanced in technology and also modern, do you think electronic books will completely replace printed books in the future?
maybe, but depend on the reader, I think, because me usually like reading the book, not electronic book, because for my eyes maybe it's too tired and easy to tired, so I
All
will
right,
just
thank you, Wisnu. So Wisnu, that's the end of the IELTS speaking section. Do you want to hear the feedback?
okay.
Well, Wisnu, I think you must watch a lot of IELTS speaking interview, yeah, for the example, for your reference. You lack of answer and you really did not extend your answer to be longer and more reasonable. And there's a one question that you didn't answer at all, and it's quite what is it? How can I say this without hurting you? I think you need to work on that, Wisnu. You need to be able to extend or elaborate your ideas when you try to speak in IELTS speaking test. Otherwise, you will get very low score, okay?
Thank you.
Your explanation is also not clear. I don't know what you're talking about, and you sound like you are drunk or something. I know you are not drunk, but I hope so. I hope you're not, yeah. And in part two, you also lack of grammar and making everything too simple. And I don't think that's a good beginning for IELTS speaking. The tenses didn't match with the question when when the question asked you about what you did last time in buying that book and what's the reason you bought it. You didn't use the past simple and you just used present simple, which is quite problematic because you need to be able to connect these questions with your answers, and you have a lot of mispronunciation. And in part three, you didn't elaborate your answers. So the question were, so the answer were not very good. I don't know how to assess it. And I think this is your band score, Vishnu, for speaking. You know, do you want to know your band score? Prediction only, okay? Don't think this is the real band score.
Doesn't matter.
You got only 3.
Okay.
From 9, you got only 3. You know why? Because speak with long pauses. Yes, you have long pauses. And you have very limited ability to link simple sentences. Don't do this in IELTS speaking, Wisnu. You want to get 3 in your IELTS certificate?
Oh.
Huh?
No.
No, right?
Yes.
Of course, you got to be serious in our simulation. And you give only simple responses and frequently unable to convey basic message because you don't know what I'm asking you. You just answer very lazy. This is not a conversation, Wisnu. This is an interview.
Okay.
So I expect more. And this is IELTS speaking, okay?
I see.
You got only 3. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you need to work on that. Listen to podcasts that I suggest you, and listen to watch the videos that I also suggest you, so you can improve your own learning progress. Okay,
Thank
I
you.
cannot control you one by one. You're no longer a child or a teenager. Okay, Wisnu,
Okay.
this is your band score. You got only 3, and if you have any question, the floor is yours now.
No, I guess it's enough, Mr. Rika.
Well, next time, if we have another IELTS simulation, be serious about it, okay?
Okay.
And you may leave the meeting. This is over for you. And
Okay.
I will call the other student. See you next week. See you on Monday. Bye. Vishnu. My God, that was the worst. Hello, Mutia. Welcome back.
Hello, Mas Raka.
Where are you?
I'm in my apartment.
Are you sure you can do this? Because it's so crowded.
Oh,
I
wait.
hear like,
Yeah, wait.
can you find a quieter room? So Mutia, I just assessed Vishnu speaking, and it was rather disappointing. I hope you, I hope you, Mutia, will not make the same mistake. He was so lazy to answer some questions. I hope he could improve his speaking skill in the next IELTS speaking simulation. It was horrible. I told him that your speaking is horrible, Vishnu. You need to work on that. Ready, Mutia?
I think you
Lagging.
maybe because I think speaking skill is my weakness too. So don't expect me too much.
That's okay. But the thing is, he was so horrible, not like not decent, below decent, you know what I'm saying? I think your speaking is still very much decent, and I hope that you can get higher than 5. Okay, Mutia? So Mutia, when I interrupt you or stop you, you must stop talking. But it doesn't mean that you make any mistake. It just your time is up and we need to move on to another questions, okay?
Okay, understood.
All right, so for the IELTS speaking, of course, I'm not going to share my screen, what the questions are, but you can see part 2 only, because part 2, you'll be given the card.
Okay.
So Mutia, let's discuss our very first IELTS speaking practice. In part 1, okay, let me open it. Mutia, welcome to speaking room. May I have your ID, please? And then you can talk to the examiner. Yes, please. Something like that. Yes, this one. Okay. And awesome. Do you work or study, Mutia, right now?
I am working.
I mean, do you work meaning that are you an employee or a student?
Yeah, I'm a freelancer actually.
All right, good job. Let's discuss the topic in part one about future. So, Mutia, what job would you like to have in 10 years from now and why?
I actually have dream, like I want to make some educational program, and it's in psychology based. So, because I think Indonesia or our country still think about mental health is really taboo problems, and I wish someday I can provide it, and I can give more education about uh, some mental health problem, for especially for people that don't have any access like internet or.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How useful will English be for your future, Mutia?
Sorry, Mr. Reka. What
How
was the question?
useful will English be for your future?
I think it will be very useful for me because English is international language, and it will improve my work in the future.
Yes, and how much traveling do you hope to do in the future?
Uh, I hope as many as many as many as I can, because I love traveling around the world.
Very good. How do you think your life will change in the future?
I don't really know, but what I know is I'm trying so hard to planning my life right now, so my future will be on my plan, and I hope my plan is I hope my plan will
Thank you. Let's move on to part two. So are you ready with your pen and piece of paper? You need those two things to jot down your answers in part two. I will give you 1 minute, and when I say stop, you need to stop writing. And remember, don't answer all the question. Don't write the entire question, just the main points. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute start from now. All right, time's up. 1 minute. So, Putia,
Yeah.
you are given 2 minutes to answer all this question in part 2. So when I do not stop you or interrupt you, meaning you still have time, so you better keep speaking because you need to maximize your time. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Your 2 minutes start from now.
Recently, I read a book about habits, and the title is Atomic Habit. It was really a famous book, and why I read it because I read the reviews about this book, and everyone think that this book is really good to improve our habits in daily life, especially, and not just in our daily life, but this book actually will improve our habit in the future. So this book is really helpful to get us the new perspective about the little habit that actually we do that habit every day and every time, but actually we don't realize that we did the habit in the wrong way. And then uh, I really enjoy this book because when I finish the book, I really realized that so many habits that uh, I did wrong, and then I start to take the benefit of this book, and then start to plan my daily habit, like from my wake up until I sleep. I try to arrange it from the book recommendation, because this book is telling us the
Thank you.
way.
Your 2 minutes are over. So let's move on to part 3. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Please wait a second. Let's talk about children and reading, Utia. Pay attention to the question. What are the most popular types of children's book in our country?
I think it's fantasies because it's for children. I think most of the children, especially in our country, they like about fantasy book or fairy tales.
Thank you. And what are the benefits of parents reading books to their children?
I think it will give their children more imagination if the parents read about the fairy tale or fiction or some superheroes to their children, so the children will have more imagination and more creative thinking from the book that the parents read for them.
Thank you. And do you think parents should always let children choose the books they read, or it's better for the parents that choose the books for the children to read? Because children sometimes don't have filter. They just grab the books and they don't know the benefits or whatever it is. Do you think parents should let children choose the books they read, or it should be the parents' job?
I think it depends on the occasion. I think it depends on the occasion. For example, if it's for bedtime, I think the children might choose what they want to parents to read for them. But I think but if it's for educational purpose, I think the parents should choose the book.
Just wait a minute. Okay. Speaking of modernity, the way we develop the technology, we also have electronic books for us to read. Do you think electronic books will ever completely replace the printed books in the future?
In my opinion, I don't think it will replace the traditional book because for me it's different when I read something in the electronic base, and it's different when I read in the electronic base from reading in a traditional book. It feels like because it will affect in our health, especially in our eyes. So I think for me, in my opinion, I prefer the traditional book because I don't know, it's just different kind of feeling when it's when I read
Thank you.
from.
Last question. How popular are electronic books in our country?
I think maybe for some people right now is using Kindle. Kindle is electronic book, but I don't think that most of our people in country use electronic book because the reason is I think it's expensive for some people. That's why our majority of our country still use traditional book.
All right, Mutia, that's the end of IELTS Speaking. Would you like to hear your feedback?
Of
Or
course.
you have your a question? Or maybe I can ask you, what do you think about your performance in your very first IELTS Speaking simulation?
I don't know. I think it's bad, and I'm very nervous actually because I think speaking
Yeah,
skill
Mutia,
is.
why are you nervous? I'm
I
not,
don't.
I'm not, I'm not a native speaker, first of all, and I'm not a president. I'm not a general. I'm just your friend here. Okay, Mutia, next time don't be nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
can feel
bad.
that because the very first time uh wait my feedback for part one is that you have frequent stutters, meaning that you have pauses in every part of your speaking.
Yeah.
When you talk about this, you have pauses. When you talk about that, you have pauses. Always with the pauses, and yeah, it really affects your score. Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
But I can say in part one, I think it's all for all the parts. Your pronunciation is quite clear, so you don't need to worry about your pronunciation.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, and then maybe when you say English is international language, you can also change it into like English is widely spoken in the world, like that. I think international language is like overused, yeah. So many
Yeah.
people. And when you when you discuss about your mental health program, maybe giving them education like that. But education can also be verb. Like I want to educate more young people
Oh
about
yeah,
health
yeah.
education. I want to educate more because they need to be aware of mental health, the
Yeah.
importance of mental health, like that. Your, for example, no. Your ideas are very good, but they're not executed well.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
because I'm nervous.
Yeah, you were nervous. That's what I think. And you use the word plan too many times. That makes you have a repetition. So it will affect your score as well.
Okay, noted.
And yeah, I plan, and then I have planned. It's like I counted 4 times, Mutia. Maybe you didn't realize that.
Yeah, of course I didn't realize because
Yeah, just keep
yeah.
going. Yeah, that's fine. A will. What? Yeah, I wrote something will here. Maybe you said something. You have a future plan, but you only say will because you didn't know what to say anymore. Yeah. And that's it. That's the feedback for part one and part two. Overall, I think it's quite good. However, you mentioned about the word habit too many times. Okay, let me ask you, Mutia, what other words that you can use to replace the word habit? Mut, Mutia, are you there?
Yes, Mister, do you hear
What
me?
did I say? What did I say? Mutia?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Mutia. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, in part two, you use the word habit too much.
Yeah.
Like you repeat it too much. What other words that you can replace from this word, habit?
Routine, maybe?
What? Trophy?
Routine.
Yes. And then also activity. Maybe you can say
Yeah,
our favorite activity because habit is like that, right? Because it's
yeah.
you do it many times. That's
Something
why you call it.
repetition.
Yeah. And then custom also has similar meaning, and practice is like I did not. This practice is quite hard to apply it in your sentence when you describe about the book of Atomic Habits. Yeah. Maybe you can use routine, activity, custom. That's it.
Okay.
At
Noted.
least you have 3 other options, alternatives.
Okay. Noted, Mister.
Part two finished, and now part three. I was confused about when you say about my wake up. What is my wake up?
My wake
When
up.
you wake up in it. Yeah, you explain
Yeah.
about the your
What I
habit.
mean,
Yeah.
I think what I meant is when I wake up.
Yeah, whenever I wake up, I feel I need to change my habit because I read the book Atomic Habit. I should change my routine like that, blah blah.
Yeah.
And you open your answer by saying I think too much. I think.
Okay.
All right with you? Yeah.
Noted,
I
Mister.
will give some suggestions later in the group chat. Uh, but you also use the phrases such as I actually, and then in my opinion. But only that, and then the rest are just I think.
Sorry,
That's right.
because this is my
And
first time.
yeah, that's okay. That's why you get the feedback. The feedback uh, do not mean to criticize you. It's just
Yeah.
make you better. And the benefits of parents reading, you only mentioned 2 things, yeah, imaginations and creative thinking. I just wish that you could elaborate more about the benefits, yeah, not only
Yeah.
to, but this is still better because the benefits we using as meaning that more than one, at least it's more than one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but you need to elaborate more.
Yeah.
And no clarity in your parents' decision when I asked you about the parents' decision, it was more like it wasn't clear. I didn't quite understand what you're saying.
Okay, sorry, Mister.
And also about the comparison about affects health and eye health in electronic books and printed books. Yeah, you mentioned about health, and also again you mentioned eye health. You know, the health of our eyes. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I was confused. It's like health is like entirely body, our physical body, or just the eye. It's supposed to be only eye. Yeah. So, and last one is the how popular the electronic books. It's not about the device. So we can say it's extremely popular, or it's very popular in Indonesia because people start to read electronic books more as more practical like that. So it
Okay.
asks you about the phenomenon, not the device.
Okay, noted.
Okay, so the band score, this is only prediction, yeah, Mutia. But Mutia, my prediction will always so close to the actual band score. Because as I told you before that I've been teaching IELTS for 2 years and there are still a questionnaire from the student saying that, oh, I get this score and that score. So whenever I give the student the band score in speaking, and then they get the official result, it's always like 1 or 0.5, higher or lower.
Oh,
Usually higher because they have improvement. They learn from the mistake in IELTS practices. Yeah. So your band score is 5. But yeah.
okay, Mister. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's
For
why
the first,
that's
it's
why I need you
good.
to practice more.
Yeah. Is there any further question? I need to say goodbye to the group chat as well. I think Radit cannot get the part. Yeah. So Butia, are you sure? Before we end, maybe you have a question.
I don't have
Butia.
any question.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and I will say goodbye on the group chat. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ega, for the feedback.